I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know from the world of comics and superheroes. And on today's show, we are taking a closer look at Captain America Steve Rogers issue number 17. Now that Steve has conquered the United States with the help of Hydra, what is he willing to do to hold on to his position as supreme leader? Well, let's hop on in together and find out, shall we? So, as this comic opens up, we're actually reintroduced to a character we haven't seen in a long time, Sally Floyd. You might remember her. She was a journalist who first appeared in the pages of Generation M before making a big splash in the Civil War Frontline series. She has a long history of interviewing Steve Rogers when things don't exactly go his way, and so it's interesting that right here, right now, when Captain America is the brand new head honcho of Hydra World Order, she's been chosen to be his very first public interview following the destruction of Las Vegas at the hands of Hydra. Dr. Faustus assures her that nothing is taboo or off the table, and that she can be free to talk to Steve about whatever he wants, you know, except for Hydra turning their guns on their own people in Las Vegas to try and smoke out some rebels. And what follows from here is basically the superhero comic book event equivalent of the Frost-Nixon interviews. Yeah, that's right, you heard me, Frost-Nixon interviews. See, I'm cultured, I know more than just comic books, I can drop some real history on you from time to time. As you might have guessed, Sally's first questions involve things like, hey, what's with the whole rounding up of Inhumans things and sending them to internment camps? That doesn't seem right. Why, as we find out this issue, Dr. Hyde is actually running the big one in New Attilan, which has been turned into the biggest camp. Steve might be brainwashed and evil, but he's still plenty sharp. He says, hey, you know, we can't trust the Inhumans, they're alien invaders. People who go through Terrigenesis, we're not getting their best. We're getting their murderers and their rapists, but don't worry, I'll protect you. Sally ends up asking the same questions that we as the readers are probably asking at this point, and that is that if the Inhumans are getting locked up for the simple crime of existing, why not the mutants? Why were they given their own sovereign nation on American soil? And for that answer, we're treated to a little flashback. You see, before Hydra took over the world, Steve decided to head on off to Madripoor to have a secret meeting with Magneto. Eric didn't exactly know the specifics, but he did know that Steve planned to take over the world, and the fact that the Gorgon was standing next to him there as a heater, I'm pretty sure he presumed what was going to happen next. As Cap says, his four-pronged plan to take over the United States didn't exactly factor in mutants, and he would rather not start a fight with them if possible. It's going to be enough to deal with all the superheroes on their own. So instead, Steve decided to offer Magneto a Faustian bargain. Stay out of the fight on the big day when it all goes down, and in return, I'll let you claim a huge chunk of California as your own personal state. Mutants can live free, they can self-govern on the small condition that they don't cross over into Captain America's territory or make any waves for him. Now, Magneto's not dumb, he thinks this idea is insane, and how does he know Hydra won't double-cross him and attack him anyway? Well, Cap has that base covered too. He says that the Hydra higher-ups despise mutants, thinking them to be unclean and unhuman, and a fight would almost inevitably break out, but Cap can stall that for at least the next several years, and in that time, imagine what Magneto and mutant kind could build for themselves. Sure, they would still be hated and feared and scapegoated by the Hydra government, but would that be really any different than what's going on right now? At least this way they would have a patch of land all to themselves. Cap even tries to gift wrap this proposal by offering up the Red Skull's head. Sadly, there's no Xavier's brain in that, but hey, you know what? If Xavier's dream is dead, then Cap's is only just getting started. Cap continues to answer Sally's questions and has a grim justification for every horrible act him and Hydra are committing. Oh sure, we've curtailed freedoms and personal liberties, locked up journalists and politicians who don't agree with us, but look how many people we put back to work as fork and spoon operators. We need people to build our death bots, we need people to join our death squads. Why can't you biased media types see that we've really given the economy a shot in the arm? Feeling absolutely disgusted by the answer she's getting, and rightly so, Sally breaks the one promise she made and decides to ask about Las Vegas. And what does she get for her trouble? Dragged off by a Hydra goons to sit in a gulag. She hopes that people perhaps getting a chance to see this gross perversion of power will urge them to rise up against these tyrants, but it doesn't work, and I think Steve really hits the nail on the head when he says, oh sure, people will be disgusted, they'll be horrified by what I've done here today, and I can't wait to read about it on Twitter. In the end, it's Magneto in this story who was ultimately right when he says that he's seen people raise new flags and burn their old ones, all in the pursuit of getting to oppress the people they hate. So that was Captain America Steve Rogers number 17, and it was a real downer. Good though, but a real downer. It answers some important logistical questions about the Secret Empire world and the heroes who are forced to live in it right now. It also serves as a pretty compelling little analysis about tyrannical regimes, how they rise to power and how they keep that power, but by far the scariest part is how it talks about when people let bad things happen, things they know are bad happen because they feel that they're getting something out of it even when everyone else around them is suffering. Those people are called collaborators, and we see a lot of people in this story become collaborators. As far as the Secret Empire event as a whole goes, I wouldn't necessarily call this story required reading, but it is good supplemental material for those who are looking for it. Overall, I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. So there you have it, everybody. That's your little taste of Captain America and Secret Empire for this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and while I have your attention, why not check out some of the other videos I have available from the channel this week, including the Lazarus Contract Part 3. Want to keep yourself up to date on all my Secret Empire content? Well, there's no better way to do that than to head on over to Twitter and follow me at CaveJoel. You can find the link down in the description, as well as several other links, including my cyber tip jar. If you like the video and are feeling in a generous mood, a little bit goes a very long way. So until next time, everyone, this has been CaveJoel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in another video. Bye-bye.